Well, so you can access a variable, right? So int a can be directly accessed, and you can print the value with stdcout a. And now you know int, right, star ptr can also be printed as a variable. This prints the value at ptr, which is typically an address. And now if you print stdcout star ptr, so this prints the value at the address. Well, what do I mean? So if I introduce another line here and print stdcout address of a, so if a is, there is nothing in here, so I don't store anything, some random variable is stored, and then address of a is, let's assume 0x 10,000, and now 10,000 will be printed. The ptr, right, so ptr itself is another variable which is dedicated to store a integer variable's address. Like the a is an integer variable which is dedicated to store integer numbers, and integer pointer is dedicated to store address of integer variables. Now since I have not assigned any value, what do you think it will be printing, right? So here a, we have not assigned any value. What do you think will be printed, right? Some junk, some garbage that is randomly taken during the runtime. That might be okay, because as long as you access a variable that is unassigned, and if you use it any operation, then you will be at loss. Your logic will not work, because it will return you some junk, so which is unpredictable what it will come as. Now in star ptr, not assigned, not storing any address of a variable, so when you print it, this will print a junk address, right? And when you access the value at star ptr, first of all, right, so the ptr holds some junk address, and you are asking star ptr to go print what is there inside this junk. That will lead to a catastrophic error, right? That will lead to a segmentation fault, which is, hey, I cannot access what you are referring to. I don't know what this address, address doesn't exist, right? It may exist, it may not exist. And if this happens to be somebody else's memory, then you have a challenge. That is where typical security attacks do happen. Now how do you make sure that if you're not assigning, how can you make sure that these pointers are still secure, right, safe to access? So that is where you have a concept called null ptr. So that is, what we are saying with this null ptr is another keyword. What we are saying is, okay, this pointer is not referring to any particular address. This is a null pointer. So when you try to access it, it says it's a null pointer, you cannot access it. This is the concept of null pointer. Now how do you declare and use it? Yes, you can directly assign here to null ptr. This is a keyword, so you can directly use it. And when you use this way, it is safe. Even if you try to print it, it says it's a null pointer, so it's not going to lead to any catastrophic errors or segmentation faults that will lead to your insecurity of your application. So therefore it is always recommended to assign a pointer to null pointer if you are not directly storing any address, right? So this covers how do you declare a variable and a pointer variable, what happens if you don't initialize a variable and a pointer variable, how to safely initialize pointer variables.